Welcome back, everyone, to the Nevin Shapiro Show. I'm Mike Tirado. I'm here with Nevin Shapiro. And today we're going to get into the quarterbacks, the ones that are here and the ones that are not. We're going to do some Carson Beck talk, and we're going to do some Dereon Coleman that's going to be coming in next year talk. So we're going to get into that for you guys. We're going to dive deep. Dereon Coleman came out with a couple statements. He made the Elite 11, and he's playing in that as we speak. So we're going to get into that for you guys. So before the video starts, please click that subscribe button for us. We're now sponsored by BTN Connect, which is backed by Athlete Narrative, the all-in-one recruiting platform getting kids seen, signed, and to the next level. And of course, as always, let's get into the action. Coleman made this Elite 11, right? Which is really cool. You know, top 20 quarterbacks in the recruiting cycle going in.
Yeah.
And he came out and said a very, very strong statement. So his statement was, he said, well, they saw what Cam Ward did when he was here, and he was only here for 1 year. Imagine if I'm here for 3 to 4 years, what could happen? We're going to win a national championship. He put that on record and said that. What's your comments to that?
I love his bravado.
Okay.
I love his confidence. You want your leader to feel that way. But when you write checks, you better be able to cash them. And I love it from a leadership standpoint. I love it. I don't think it's any diss to Cam Ward. I think Cam Ward in 1 year was, well, it's not even arguably. He had the best, regular season probably in any quarterback Miami history, right? He was also the #1 pick in the draft. So he's got some big shoes to fill. Those are some big comments to make, but I love it. And I think if I'm a kid that's considering signing with the University of Miami, I want to fuck with that kid. I love it.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome. Great, man. That's how we used to be. Talking shit and letting you know.
Yep.
We got to reestablish that vibe. It starts at winning, though.
Yep.
And when we win, you can act out. You end up in the Pop-Tart Bowl, you can't really act out. Right? No, I mean, honestly.
Yeah, no, you can't.
Yeah.
So I wanted to get into this. I made a printout here, and I'm going to show it to you in a second. A report by Athlon Sports came out and said that Carson Beck is the leader among quarterbacks with 100 dropbacks since 2022 in his WAA, which is wins above average. This is a metric to evaluate a player's contribution to a team's success. It quantifies how many wins a player is worth compared to an average player at the position. Okay, so this is the WAA, and I'll show it to the screen here. And I circled where he is. So the metric is from +2 to -2. The metrics is all over the place, from completion percentages and everything like that, but more so on the win side, like how much is that person contributing to the win column. So with quarterbacks that are still left in college football since 2022, he's clear cut above the rest. So their comment was that this is the ultimate measure of a quarterback's success, and this is a strong indicator that Beck's bounce back potential is real. Mm-hmm. And it's deeply talented roster and proven offensive system that Miami has. Mm-hmm. The next step could be the Hurricanes into a serious playoff run.
Yeah. So I'll tell you my thoughts flat out on Carson Beck. Skip all the noise and the gossip and the TMZ shit. I think the kid's hella talented, right? And I think Georgia had a real fucking piss poor offense. And I don't blame last season on Carson Beck in any way. Now, he threw some passes that, in my recollection, because I don't break down game tape, I watch games as they happen, and I make my assessments from what I see, right? The worst, all right, so here's the negative as I see from Carson Beck. I think he had a lot of ill-advised throws, but when you're in that position and you really don't have weapons, you probably press and try to make something happen. So I don't just blame that all on him. Off the field, I heard he wasn't a great teammate. Now, that's just what's gotten back to me from whoever I've heard from close to that situation. I can't put any kind of merit to it because I wasn't there and I don't really know what's going on inside Georgia's world. The plus is I had my guys bet big on Alabama when they played Georgia. And Georgia was getting housed 28-0 on the road at Alabama. That is a very, very tough, hostile place to be down 28-0. And Carson Beck willed them back to take the lead. And that was Carson Beck. That wasn't Georgia's defense. That was Carson Beck. So I saw the upside of what that kid could be. And I think Carson Beck, we've taken our shots with the comedy pokes and the car getting stolen and his chick and whatever. I think Carson Beck is they paid him a lot of money. So I think I don't know if he's going to be worth that kind of money, but I think he's in position to pull a Cam Ward type performance.
Wow.
As far as getting drafted next level, he's got, I think, a lot of talent around him from an offensive firepower receiver standpoint. I think we're loaded at receiver. We're just inexperienced. My opinion. Our running games is I love. You got Lyle Fletcher, this kid Pringle, maybe this, that, the kid from South Dakota State, North Dakota State, whatever Dakota he's from. And and our offensive line is fucking thorough. So I really like the stock potential on Carson Beck. I think it's up. I think the only one who's going to determine that is Carson Beck. I don't even want to say it's Mario because Shannon Dawson is the offense coordinator. I love his upside, and that's the truth. I love his upside. I know we've made our jokes. He better throw lefty and this and that. Well, yeah, he better.
Yeah,
they
he just better show up. Right.
That's it. And I love his upside, man. As a person, this and that. I don't know. He's a young kid, man. Not everybody is. People mature later. I don't know.
So let me take it a step further. I read another report on Sports Illustrated. They came out and said that Carson Beck is to be a Heisman finalist.
Wouldn't shock me.
Okay. That was my question. Like, do you think that's outlandish, or do you think it's more accurate?
Fuck no, not outlandish. Expected. You don't spend $20-30 million in NIL loading up the fort and expect to go to the Pop-Tart Bowl. How many times do I got to say it for this fan base? There's no knock on Mario. It's all under the same roof. Let's go. Do it.
Yeah.
I think he should be in the Heisman conversation. He's going to throw the fucking ball a lot. When you throw, two things happen. You score or you get picked off. If he's that pro football focused guy, he's going to be at the Heisman. No shock here. I'd bet on it that he's in New York.
I like it.
Yeah, I'm just telling you how it is. I don't, skip all the semantics. The kid's got, man, he's fucking loaded, man. Mm-hmm. He's loaded. They've paid him well, and they've entrenched him. They fortified him with a solid offensive line, not to mention what's coming, which he'll be gone by then. No excuses, man. This is it. Yeah. No, playoff or bust, man, for Mario. Period.
I wanted to get into this too, and I know that we saw a picture floating around, and we're just talking about Carson Beck, and Kirby Smart is obviously in that conversation as his former coach. There was a picture, when we did get the Jackson Cantwell commitment of Mario Cristobal.
You're an instigator, Mike. You're a fucking instigator.
Listen,
I'm just saying.
I just saw it, and we saw it. And I just...
Are you people watching this? Like, it's not me. It's this guy.
I'm the narrator. I have to bring it up.
You're an instigator.
Listen, it was a picture of Mario Cristobal shoving Kirby Smart into a locker. I didn't get...
Well, Mario was an offensive lineman. He's used to pancaking.
Listen, I get it. We are absolutely terrorizing the recruiting right now. I mean, he is unbelievable, this guy. I've never, honestly, arguably the best recruiter Miami has ever had in the history of this program, next to maybe a Jimmy Johnson or a Butch Davis. Arguably. I mean, he's unbelievable.
I'm not putting anybody in Butch Davis's category. You know why? Because he's got 3 teams that should have went back to back to back. That guy loaded up a fucking Fort Knox for Larry Coker. Pump the brakes. Just pump the brakes.
What was your initial thoughts when you saw that picture?
How did he fit Kirby Smart in the locker with his 2 national trophies? Did he must have put Kirby Smart in the locker without the 2 championship trophies he won.
Yeah, because it wouldn't have fit with the...
You know what I'm saying? That's how I respond to that.
I like it.
Okay.
You know, this wasn't going to be a long show. We just had a couple things to cover. So I actually really just have a final question to ask you here. In our last show, you mentioned that you feel we are going to smash Notre Dame shit on August 31st.
Yeah, I think we're going to beat them down.
Okay. I know a few months ago, I asked you what the score prediction was going to be, and you told me it was a little too soon.
It is still.
Okay. We're 73 days away. Who's counting? Maybe me, but 73 days.
Leon Searcy's number.
I love it.
Okay.
I love it.
For those who aren't paying attention.
With 73 days left, can you give me a score prediction?
No.
Still too early?
Too early. I just think we score a lot, and I think we're going to score a lot. Al Golden leaving with his tie. I think that hurts Notre Dame significantly. I think we're going to roll them, man. I really do. I'm confident. I'm ultra confident about it.
Multiple touchdown win?
Yes.
Wow.
You know what that stadium gets like, man. Like, you know what it gets like. People can make fun all they want of Hard Rock Stadium, man, and Miami doesn't fill it up. Yeah, but when we do, we blast.
Yeah, and that game is
right. Listen, let me tell you something. You see that shitty little stadium behind you in that picture, the Orange Bowl? It used to be empty a lot. Guess what? When the big teams came in, we did work, and the fans did work.
58 home wins in a row. Never unprecedented.
Listen, it was, you didn't want to be a high-ranked team coming in there. You were getting smashed.
I think I read a stat that we went through 4 presidents until Miami had finally lost in the Orange Bowl. From the moment we had won that first game to the 58th game, we went through 4 presidents.
Yeah, I went through 4 presidents too, and then Obama put me down. Fucking crazy how we always end up on my case, Mike.
How do we always get here, Nevin?
Fuck.
So you told me the feds gave you 72 hours last show. We're always figuring something out.
I'm very self-deprecating, Mike. I do have one tip.
Okay.
So, you know, we're always coming up with this insight that no one knows about. I've finally found the janitor who has my plaque stashed that they took down from the Heck Center.
Really?
Yeah. I got a beeline on this. I'm going to get my plaque back, and I'm going to hang it here.
Is this actual?
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know this.
I know. I don't share everything with you.
Your underwear's as far as it goes.
Okay.
This guy. I got him the worn sap pajamas for Christmas this year. They're on order.
Today's show wasn't meant to be very long. We just had a couple things to cover here. So before the video ends, click that subscribe button. We're dropping videos every week. And of course, as always, we'll catch you on the next one.